Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha if it is your first time here, and I'm sick. I have been sick for like a week now, dude. It sucks. My nose is like super red and chapped. My throat is all groggy and weird. I finally am like less congested today, but I still like feel like bleh. You know what I mean? So for today's video, I've seen this video kind of pop up on YouTube a bunch of times now, and I just think it's fun, and it's using old makeup, basically kind of like a shop my stash. So I've been going through all of my makeup recently because I'm decluttering a lot. I am filming it. And I came across like all these products that used to be like major ride or dies for me, and I feel like a lot of people, like these used to be the products that everyone would talk about. So today I'm basically just throwing them all in my face. This isn't like a tutorial really. It's more of just like seeing if I still love these products, if I still really like these products. So if you're interested in this video, just keep on watching. So I didn't have any brow products, so I just threw on a normal brow, and I didn't want to like go out and buy products I used to use because I'm like, what if I don't like them anymore? Waste of money. So basically stuff that I have is what I'm using. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and do some eyeshadow, and I pulled out two different palettes that I feel like one of them for sure everyone used to use, and another one is a brand that I feel like no one really uses anymore. So the first one I pulled out is this Too Faced chocolate bar. This used to be like the palette that everyone used all the time. I actually used this eyeshadow palette on my wedding, so I thought this would be fun to use. Still smells really good. It's kind of old now, and like this color story we've seen a million times, but I feel like when this came out it was like everyone loved this palette. This is the Lorac Gold Unzipped palette, and Lorac is like one of those brands that I don't ever really hear about anymore. And I remember like the Lorac Pro palettes everyone went crazy for, and the only one I still have is this gold palette. I think I got rid of my Pro palettes like a few declutters ago. So I'm not doing anything revolutionary here. I'm just probably going to throw in like a quick bronzy eye, go through it. I think I'm mainly going to use this Too Faced palette too. So I'm just going to dip right into Salted Caramel and Milk Chocolate and just start building up the crease. I will say that pigment for eyeshadow has definitely stepped up a whole bunch. I think this is still like from, this little bit that I'm doing, it's still a nice eyeshadow palette, but now pigment has been like turned up more. Like I feel like I'm really having to layer this. Do they still sell this palette? Like, can you go buy a brand new one of this palette in like Ulta or whatever? I wonder if they still like sell this palette online. I will say that I feel like this is like a little dull. Like it's coming off a little dusty, a little dull, and I don't know if it's always been that way and it was just so revolutionary for what it was, or if I just don't really remember correctly. Because I wore this on my wedding, and I think I mixed this palette with, I'm trying to think. I know I mixed two palettes on my wedding. I think it might have been the original Morphe 35O palette was the other palette I used. I'm pretty sure, because I did like a deep orangey, bronzy, smoky eye for my wedding. Like it was a really bold, smoky eye. But I think, yeah, I think it was these two palettes, but I can't really remember. I should look at my wedding pictures and see how I feel like the pigment looks. So to darken it up just a little bit more, I'm going to go in with Semi-Sweet and a little bit of Triple Fudge, just to deepen it a little bit more on the outer corners. Are you guys excited for the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette? I am so excited. I ordered it the day it came out and I got excited shipping, so it should be here any day now, I hope. And I am just like really excited about it. I've heard a few people complain that they thought like the color story was a little boring, but I really like the idea of having one shade in every finish, like how she was explaining in her video. I just thought that was really cool. I'm not loving it, but I'm not absolutely hating it. I honestly don't think I've used a Too Faced eyeshadow since this palette. I just feel like they're coming off a little dull, a little dusty. So I'm going to go and just do the lid now. I think I'm going to dip into Marzipan right here, which was like, I remember my favorite shade in the palette, and probably a little bit of Creme Brulee under it. I think I did kind of this same thing all the time. I mean, it's still really pretty. It's like a champagne-y rosy color. Yeah, it's just a little dusty. What do you think? I feel like it's just a little dusty. I'm gonna try to take some on a brush and like wet it, because that used to be like the thing to do. Alright, so I'm just gonna take some on like a flat shader brush and then spritz it with some Fix Plus, which is like, I haven't used this in so long. I've moved on to setting sprays. Like there's like hardly any left in here. I haven't used it in so long, but I thought it'd be fun because it's like the old, what everyone used to use. I mean, so many people still use this. This stuff is bomb, but so many other setting sprays have come out since then. I mean, that definitely bumped it up a little bit, but still like does not even compare to the shimmers that we have now. And honestly, it is just like a little chunky. I'll do the other eye just to match. Yeah, it definitely bumps it up, but it's still like wah, you know? But what are you gonna do? It's not like the best, not the worst. Cute. Okay, let's move on to the face. So I'm excited about the face because I felt like those are the products that I used to be like, oh my god, I love this product so much. I love this product so much. So the first face product I pulled out was a primer, and I actually used to like live and die for this primer. I would mix it in with everything. I'd wear it when I wasn't wearing makeup. Like this right here, the Becca Backlight priming filter. This used to be like the bomb. This and the MAC strobe cream were like the glowy primers. I literally used to mix this in with every foundation. I would put it on if I didn't have any makeup on. I would use it as a highlight. I would put so much all over my face and neck. I'd even put it on like my chest if I wanted my chest to be glowy. Ugh, it smells so good. It still smells good. And I'm pretty sure they definitely still use this, still sell this. I just really haven't used it in a while. I started using like the Laura Mercier hydrating primer and the Charlotte Tilbury. You know, that one is just like my favorite. That I just like kind of stopped using this one. It still feels really good on the skin. It still smells really good. Yeah, it's so pretty. It just adds like a nice, I know my face is kind of pink because I just rubbed it, but just like a nice overall dewy glow to it. And it's like shimmery, but not shimmery and chunky. It just like adds this really pretty glow. Okay guys, this foundation that I'm about to pull out was the foundation. I feel like this was the like bouge a la bouge Everyone was using it, but it was so stupid expensive, but everyone wanted it foundation. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This foundation is like what everyone wanted, but nobody wanted to spend the money on it. And now I feel like there's so many dewy foundations that are so comparable, but this foundation was like the shit, okay? You weren't a bougie bad bitch unless you were using Giorgio Armani. So I'm gonna put this on now. It's been a hot minute. And I remember like when I bought this, I never wanted to use it because it was so expensive and it was so like nice and luxurious that I didn't want to like get rid of it. So I never even used it that much. Sometimes I would put like a pump of it in with another foundation. It's a little dark, but I will be okay. I used to fake tan all the time, and now I just like embrace my paleness. You know what, the shade actually isn't that bad. I was worried that it was going to be way too dark for me. And it is a tiny bit, I would say, more golden than my skin. But it's not super high coverage, and so it's not that bad. I know my nose is going to look terrible regardless because it's so dry and chapped. Oh yeah, my nose looks bad. Ooh, but I look luminous. That primer and this foundation mixed. Let me make sure I get my neck. Cute. Feels super lightweight. I mean, it's a good foundation. Like, it's a good dewy foundation, but I feel like it's just too expensive. This is like one of the ones that I mean, I may buy it again in the future, but probably not, because I feel like I have other dewy foundations that are comparable, that last a little bit longer, that are less expensive. I don't mind that it's a little bit lower coverage because I like a lower coverage foundation. I just mind that it's like so expensive for what it is. So I don't have an old concealer because I just don't, and I didn't want to go buy an old one. So I'm going to throw on some concealer real fast. Boom. So that was so corny. I went ahead and finished up my lower lash line as well as threw on some mascara, did my concealer. Let's move on to the rest of the face stuff. This next product, when I pulled it out, I was like, this used to be the only bronzer that I would ever use. I cannot believe I'm not using this bronzer anymore. Like, it kind of shook me to the core because I was like, this really used to be the only bronzer I used to use. NARS Laguna. Look at her. She's a mess. This used to be the only bronzer I would use. And now that I kind of look at it, it was probably a little too warm, a little too orange for me, but I'm going to go right in and bronze up. Maybe I'll fall back in love with it. But this was like the bronzer. Everyone used this bronzer. That's all they would talk about. This is definitely not like a contouring bronzer. It's just a regular old bronzer. It's so crazy to think that like brands used to come out with stuff like twice a year maybe, and now they're coming out with stuff like every month. Like, I remember like not every brand had a bronzer. Like, that just wasn't a thing. Not every brand had a bronzer, and now every single brand has like 2 or 3 different styles of bronzers. They got liquid bronzers, powders, sticks. How do you guys feel about all of the like releases and launches. It's kind of overwhelming because it's like you want to keep up and everything looks like so amazing and so good. But then it's like I feel like I buy things and then I never end up using them because I'm buying other things even quicker, you know? Bronzer's on. I still really like this bronzer. I'll probably start using it again because I just reused it. So, for blush, I pulled out 2 different blushes that I feel like were huge. So first is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes. This one is in Mellow Wine, but I feel like the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes used to be huge. And then, would it even be an old video if I didn't put in the Milani Luminoso? Like, the logo is worn off. That's how old it is. And this one, I think this is like, they've changed the color. They've changed it from peach to pink to back to peach again. And this is like an old original one. So I think this is like the original peach. I'm going to go in with Luminoso for sure. I'm going to take Luminoso and blush up. This was like the blush. Everyone uses this. And honestly, everyone still uses this. I don't care what you say. This is like probably one of the best drugstore blushes there is. The color, the formula, the way it's like kind of shimmery, kind of matte. It looks good on so many skin tones. I feel like I'm doing like a really old school look too because it's like bronzy eye, bronzy skin. I wear so much more blush than I used to. Okay. Then we have highlight. I also pulled out 2 highlights that I'm like, oh, everyone used to talk about these. The first one is the Balm Mary Luminizer highlight. Was this the first highlight? I feel like this might have been the first highlight. It's just like a nice vanilla-y champagne highlight. Does anyone even like use the Balm anymore? I haven't heard of them in so long. And then this next one was the Laura Geller Gilded Honey Baked Gelato Swirl. This one was always like a little bit too dark for me, but I wanted it because everyone had it and everyone used it. So I'm actually going to mix both of these and put them on my cheeks because I think that'll make like the perfect combination. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, these are still bomb. These are still bomb. I feel like I'm actually pleasantly surprised with almost everything I've put on my face today. Okay, let's set our face, and duh, we're gonna go in with the MAC Fix Plus. This is like the old school setting spray. I keep saying old school for everything, but it's like really, compared to what the options are now, this was like the shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz. Hopefully it doesn't come out like thick. Whew. Such a distinct smell. I mean, it smells good. I think it smells really good, but very distinct. It looks good. I mean, there's a reason why this setting spray is still so popular. Okay, so all that's left is lip, and I like tried really hard to like think like what used to be the lip products, and I narrowed it down to 2 different products. ColourPop Lippy Sticks. I think these were like ColourPop's first products, which is crazy to think of because now they have everything. But ColourPop Lippy Sticks, but I only have 2 red shades, and I don't know if I'm wanting to do a red. And then the Ofra Liquid Lipsticks. This is in their newer packaging, but Ofra Liquid lipsticks used to be like the shit, and I was gonna try to put on a MAC lipstick and a MAC lip liner, but I don't have any anymore. So if I had my MAC lip liners, that would definitely be what's it. So it's between the ColourPop and the Ofra. I think I'm gonna go for the lippy stick. So I'm gonna take the lippy stick in Love Life. This is a matte formula, and I'm just gonna wing it and hope I do a good job because this is a red. Wish me luck. Glides on just so easy, so nice. Cute. Okay, so that's just the initial application. I'm going to go in with a liner and kind of clean it up just a little bit. Cute. I haven't used a lippy stick in a hot minute. This color is so pretty. This is like a burnt... Yeah, this is like a burnt reddish color, a little bit more blue red, but still really pretty, really comfortable for a matte formula. Am I gonna have to like buy some more lippy sticks? Man, I don't know. Really pretty. Okay, so the look is basically over. Let me go back through everything and see how I felt about it. So first things first was the eyeshadow palette. I mean, I think I came up with a pretty look, but I kind of feel like eyeshadow palettes are way better now. So this one is kind of like, it's good for the times. Doesn't really hold up that much. The primer, still bomb. Foundation, still bomb. Just still not worth the money based on what I can get, you know. Laguna bronzer. I'm probably going to keep using this. Milani Luminoso, still bomb. The highlighters, the Laura Geller and the Mary Luminizer, these are still really bomb too. And the lip, I'm like pretty happy with everything, which goes to show you do not have to buy everything in sight because a lot of the oldies are still goodies. I'm like getting so preachy right now. My voice is terrible. I'm happy with the look. This was fun. It was fun using more old stuff. If you guys are interested in me like continuing to do like shop my stash videos, or if there's any kind of like older eyeshadow palettes or maybe palettes I've used in previous videos that you want me to do more looks on, definitely let me know in the comments below because I can totally do more looks on them. Even if I don't do like a full YouTube video, I can do something over on my Instagram stories or IGTV. I'm totally fine with that. I'm actually really having fun like decluttering all my stuff because I keep finding old products that I'm like, oh, why did I stop using this? Like I loved this. And that's pretty much it. That is the video. So if you've made it this long, thanks for bearing with me and my groggy voice. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media platforms. On Instagram, it's at Natasha Josette Beauty. On Twitter, it's at Natasha Josette. I even recently started doing TikTok, which I know, like I feel like low-key I'm a little too old for TikTok, but I'm having a bunch of fun with it because it reminds me of Vine, and I used to love Vines. Like I still watch Vines on YouTube, like that's how much I used to love Vine. So on TikTok, it's also at Natasha Josette Beauty. Don't forget to check out all of those. Subscribe to my channel. I post here on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday, so subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!